bold journalism,
But Drew Hernandez is a strong-minded individual.
exposing lawlessness,
Hernandez, who is ideological,
finding the truth,
and use the word Antifa.
This is what they do.
Battling
They're
mainstream
liars. The woke mob, all they can do is lie.
These are the front lines.
What's going on, Thought Criminals? Welcome to Frontlines. I am your host, Drew Hernandez. I'm sitting with a patriot, Harrison Smith, host of American Journal on INFOWARS.com. Band.video. Make sure to go check it out and support Alex Jones and the squad and the crew over at INFOWARS. The work they've been doing exposing globalism. Alex has been at this for decades, man, for a very long time. But Harrison, dude, your show airs right before Alex's.
Yep, I'm the lead-in.
Right? Lead-in every single day.
8 to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday, band.video.
Awesome. Make sure you guys to go check that out. But let's get straight into this because they've been going after Alex for years, but they really did drop the hammer when big tech colluded together, took them off of Apple, took you guys off of Spotify, took you guys off of YouTube, Twitter, pretty much everything, right?
All at once, all in one weekend. That was it. That was the death blow. We aren't around anymore. They killed us with that one blow. No, wait, they didn't. We succeeded anyway because
Right?
people love us.
Right?
And they can't stop our fans from
Exactly.
supporting us
And
at
it's the truth.
InfoWarsStore.com.
It's the truth. So that took place. A lot of people, especially the so-called right-wing conservatives, didn't want to be seen or be associated with Alex Jones or InfoWars at all, which I think is a disgrace. I don't care even if you're on the left and you're like a socialist and you're getting your free speech censored, I'll defend you, right? But I love Alex Jones. I just use the example to say that we should defend free speech at all costs for everybody. But fast forward to now, 2022, with the whole they take Sandy Hook and they make Alex the Sandy Hook man, and they use that just to bring him down because of what he represents.
Yep.
Alex didn't shoot kids. Okay, I've been saying this too, is like they literally make Alex even more of a villain than the actual shooter of Sandy Hook, which is insane to me.
Yeah.
What's been the experience these past few months with all this going down?
Oh, Lord. What's been the experience? I mean, it's been interesting because at first, when they first did the trial in Texas and they first got some big $1 million judgment, it was like, oh my God, this is heartbreaking. Now, by the time that they're talking about billions of dollars, and trillions of dollars, at this point, it's just like hilarious. It's just funny to me because there is no money. There's no money for them to get. They're not going to get anything as far as I know. I don't even know what I'm allowed to say legally, but I'll just say whatever anyway because free speech after all. And our experience has been really positive. I mean, the support that we've gotten from our audience, I know a lot of people say we have the best audience ever. InfoWars has the best audience ever. They are so dedicated. They really understand what we're fighting for, which is global liberty for all human beings and the ability to question the official story regardless of what that official story entails. And it's also been it's been very effective in keeping us from achieving our potential. It's been very effective at keeping Alex Jones personally and the company in general distracted. And I think that's really what the primary purpose of this was. Obviously, it was to get the headlines, it was to get the stories, it was to humiliate and try to destroy Alex's reputation in the mainstream, which to some extent they have succeeded at. But largely it was there to make sure that we weren't making movies and books and documentaries. We still have continued to do that, but the amount of time and the amount of money it takes just to defend ourselves from these attacks has done some damage to our ability to expand and continue on the path that we were on before. But at the same time, Alex Jones is totally indefatigable. He is completely dedicated more than ever. And honestly, it's inspiring to see somebody so under attack, so under just demonization, and still be able to churn out the best content you can possibly imagine, still make headlines on like a weekly basis. He's trending on Twitter every single time I look. I mean, they can't keep this guy down and they're really getting desperate. And at this point, it's crazy because NPR of all places, I think it was NPR, or no, the AP came out with a video where the guy explains, well, what happened with the Alex Jones free speech case is really unprecedented. And there's a lot of grounds for this to be overturned. It's like, oh, now you say that. Oh, now that you've gotten the headlines, now that you've smeared him, now that you've gotten the judgments, now you admit, oh, actually nothing about this trial was normal or, legal perhaps in certain ways. So
because that's how
we still have hope.
propaganda works, right?
Yeah.
You launch the seed, you lodge the seed in the mind of the public and the masses and the populace, and that's how you get to control them, because you literally just get them to believe something you want them to believe about a man. Which, this is what I found interesting about the Sandy Hook stuff, is none of that money. Okay, $2.75 trillion. It's like the GDP of a country. Okay,
So absurd.
There's none of that money is going to go to any of the Sandy Hook victims' parents. If they really cared about these parents and the kids, wouldn't they come up with like a reasonable amount to sue the devil, Alex Jones, right? But that's how you know it's a bunch of crap. And also, I think it's stupid and ridiculous because they took down Alex and INFOWARS when he got banned everywhere, just like you're explaining. It took a huge financial hit.
It was huge, yeah.
So fast forward to now, where's all that money then? You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense.
No, it makes
But
no
they claim
sense.
Alex has like hundreds of millions of dollars.
Which-
It's all a lie.
Which he should. He deserves to have hundreds
Yes.
of millions. Like, you realize, you know,
But they shot their own narrative in the foot by deplatforming him.
right.
You see what
if
I'm
they
saying?
wanted to get the money, yeah, they
Exactly.
could have. But of course,
It's just stupid.
the lawyer himself in the courtroom, you know, was making the argument, we have to stop Alex Jones from talking. We have to stop him from broadcasting.
And
They
I
were
hope
very
no
open.
one like Alex Jones ever rises again. I think he said something like
yeah,
that too.
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Make sure he can
I was sitting
never
there
say-
smiling like, oh, too late for that.
Yeah, right. No, and that's the thing. It's too late. The bomb has gone off. The InfoWars revolution has occurred. There are people like yourself. There are people like Savannah. I mean, there are so many people out there now that have taken the InfoWars. I mean, if you watch Fox News these days, it sounds like InfoWars a year ago.
Yeah.
It sounds like InfoWars 2 years ago. So we've already broken through. We've already shattered the paradigm. We've already destroyed their ability to control the narrative. They're frantic. They're desperate. They're trying whatever they can, and it's failing because we've shifted the entire Overton window beyond their control. So they're mad. They want revenge on Alex. They want to stop Alex because he is an example of somebody who by himself, with just ingenuity and truth, has changed the entire world, literally changed the entire world. I mean, I don't think Donald Trump ever gets elected without Alex Jones. I don't think, you know, now
Agree.
the term false flag, completely normal. Everybody knows what a false flag is. Nobody knew what a false flag was before Alex Jones started talking about it. So it's already been done. The damage has already been done. InfoWars is going to continue on. We will continue because we still have in this country, thank God, a minute aspect of capitalism still left. And because Alex Jones set up InfoWarsStore.com, because people can go there to buy products that supports us, they can't stop us from selling products to people who want products. There's still that little, you know, iota of capitalism
I mean,
left.
even in the trial, they're like, or they ask Alex, right? Are your supplements FDA approved? And I was like, I don't think so. I believe he said something like that, right? But it's like they make it seem like that's not normal.
Right. It's completely normal.
Especially if you're in like the gym world and you
Yeah.
get supplements all the time. You're looking at all the, this is not FDA approved, but am I supposed to trust the FDA?
Right.
You know what I mean?
You know
Like-
what is FDA approved? The vaccine. So
Exactly.
yeah, go take that and see how that does for you. But no, yeah, and they were also making the case where they're like, well, you buy it for this much and you sell it for this much. It's like, yeah, that's our price when we buy 100,000 of this. Like, if you want to buy 100,000 bottles of Vaso Beats, it'll be cheap for you too. But then if you sell them individually, it's just the way retail works, and they rely on people's ignorance about that fact to make it look like Alex Jones is doing something abnormal when it's the most normal thing ever. I mean, the amount that we mark up our products is nothing compared to the amount that like it costs to make a bottle of Coke versus what they sell a bottle of Coke for. I mean, that's a, $5 to make it and they sell it for $3. What's the, markup on that? But they're not going to go to CNN and castigate them for
Of course
for selling
not, 'cause
Coke,
CNN
right?
could commit defamation. They could defame, Kyle Rittenhouse, Nick Sandmann, all that. and
Continuously. Yeah, never ends.
continuously, Donald Trump, you name it. But you know what? What's the core at InfoWars is opposing globalism.
Yes.
Okay, so when you see all these attacks, they're all connected. Deep state, global cabal, the Democrats, Republicans as well, the rhinos on both sides.
Mhm.
And then you go even deeper with the Bilderbergs and the World Economic Forum, the WHO, and you start to really see who these people really are and why they want them silenced. I want to talk about that when we come
Mhm.
back from the break, all right?
Let's
So
do it.
stay with us, you guys. And we are back. I'm here with Harrison Smith, host of American Journal, on Infowars.com, band.video. Go check it out and support them. Globalism, World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, these supervillains that
Mhm.
Alex has talked about for a very long time. Like you said, the awakening has taken place. There's a lot of people that have never heard those names before. They look into them And like Alex always says, is just listen to what they say.
I know.
Read what they write, and you can clearly determine yourself, if you're a smart person, that these people are a global, psychotic, Luciferian shadow entity that's now out in the open.
Yeah,
They're open
yeah, yeah.
about it.
Yeah, so, the only defense against it is either ignorance, right? You've never heard of this guy. And there's a shocking number of Americans who've never heard of Klaus Schwab. They've never heard of the World Economic Forum. I mean, we see it so much, we think it's totally normal. Everybody knows this. I guarantee if we go on the street, maybe not here because the convention's happening, but if you go on the street of any American city and ask people who is Klaus Schwab, they have no idea. They have no idea that this guy is pulling the strings on so many decisions that are being, I mean, the fact is we have a world government at this point.
Yeah.
It's not coming, it is here.
Yes.
There are multiple organizations that work in concert with each other. They come up with policy, they meet in Congress, they congregate together, they set
give
policy.
so-called recommendations.
Right, that are treated like the word of God. And then those are distributed to the national governments, who then impose them on their people without ever putting it to a vote, and often contrary to the will of the people that they're ruling over. Look at the Netherlands and the 3,000 farmers. Nobody in the Netherlands actually wants them to shut down the farms. It doesn't matter. They got the orders from the global government. They got the orders from the World Economic Forum. And it can take different shapes, and it can morph and form, and some groups are more powerful than others, and some people are just figureheads while others are pulling the strings behind the scenes. But everybody who is paying attention recognizes that at that point. So you can't really be ignorant about this anymore unless you just do nothing but, I don't know, watch football. I don't even know how you stay ignorant about this stuff at this point. You really have to almost choose that. Or you have to just say, I don't believe it. And that's the craziest thing. And that's the response I get from liberals is you explain to them, you go, look, here's the people, here's where they're meeting, here are the decisions they're making, here's how we see this enacted in the real world. And they just go, well, I don't believe you. And it's like, well, that's not an option anymore because it's here, it's in your face. They make videos about, on YouTube, I think one of the craziest things this year was the fact that do you know what I'm going to say? The World Government Summit on YouTube from the World Government, what was it? It was the World Government Summit. It may have been the World Economic Forum, but I think it was something even more globalist and disturbing sounding. But they've got the warning on it on YouTube going, the New World Order. It was the New World Order, right? Yeah. It was the World Government Summit, a New World Order. That was the name of their video that they put on YouTube, and YouTube goes, oh, this is a conspiracy theory. It doesn't exist. It's like, that's all they have anymore. They just have to see something happening in the real world and go, I don't believe it's happening, even though it's right in front of their faces. So I don't know how you break through that kind of cognitive dissonance, but it's an existential problem we have to solve.
It's so insane. When you have Klaus Schwab saying that China's the model, China's the attractive model. We want to be like China. No one's going to be safe unless everybody's vaccinated. This guy literally wants to control the world through vaccinations, and they all do it in the name of health,
of course,
and health care. I don't know if you saw that. Have you seen that? I'd be shocked if you haven't seen it. But you know that video where Bill Gates is talking about like depopulation?
Yeah.
And he's sitting there. Yes, and he's sitting there, and he's like, me and Melinda, we thought to ourselves, the population is, really getting high. And we made this little chart, that goes all the way to 2100. And we realized that the population is going to be in over 15 billion. And that's just too much. And I thought he literally says this. And I thought to myself, is keeping children alive going to be a population problem? Dude, all you got to do is listen to these people.
Right.
And then he goes and says, so we thought to ourselves, if we give better medicine and healthcare, families will decide not to have big families.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dude, how could you not listen to this? This guy is a homicidal maniac, dude. Who gets to choose who gets to populate the earth or who doesn't? It's quite the opposite of what God said to do, to be fruitful and multiply. At the end of the day, it is the satanic antichrist agenda. And this guy, Bill Gates, is literally at the forefront of it, man.
And the more you look at that guy, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation was originally called the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for Population Control. That was the original name that it was founded on. His father was a main founder in Planned Parenthood. He's been in this and deep in this and groomed to be this and do this for his entire life. And you're right to point out that it's satanic, and it's satanic in the most fundamental form. They literally believe that Satan was the good guy in the Garden of Eden. He freed Adam and Eve, and he promised them that they would too be as gods, if they would just use their logic and follow Satan. And these people actually believe that. They manipulate religion, they manipulate science, they manipulate health. And of course, Aldous Huxley, pointed out you can do everything with your spears except for sit on them, right? What he meant by that was you can use threats and you can use violence and you can use oppression to get to a certain point, but you'll never be comfortable that way. And the elites want to be comfortable, so they have to phrase everything in the term of health and we're saving the earth. They have to couch all of their anti-human depopulation agenda.
That's why abortion is called healthcare.
Right.
Vaccines are healthcare. But if anyone talks about the damaging impacts on society, you get banned, deplatformed, silenced. It makes total sense when you connect all those dots.
Yep, and they have a lot of control right now. And what happened in 2016 was Donald Trump was a major roadblock to their narrative, to their agenda rather. And instead, they had two options. They could have backed up a little bit. They could. The way I always explain it, it's like they've been hunting a tiger and they have a cage that they want to trap the tiger in, and they're leaving crumbs, and the tiger is eating the crumbs, and he's getting closer and closer to the cage, and he's really close to the cage. He's about to be in it. That was like 2015. They'd spent decades setting up this program. Humanity's about to make that fun. You vote for Hillary Clinton, she starts banning,
open borders. Everything.
Oh my God, they just would have gone full bore. Donald Trump comes around. That's like the tiger looking around and seeing the cage and starting to wonder, starting to go, well, what is this? I shouldn't walk in this. And so they had two options. They could have either backed up and gone, oh, he's spooked. Let's chill for a second. We can start this agenda up in a second, but let's chill and batten down the hatches. Or they can double down and they reach out and grab the tiger by the scruff of the neck and just try to pull him in. So now humanity is in this life and death struggle to avoid being put into the prison cage, avoid being put into the cell, and have that door shut behind us. And the globalists have decided to make it a real war at this point, a real information war. And so they think they have us on the ropes, but they're also getting very tired and they're struggling, and the awakening is happening whether they like it or not. So I think they're panicking, and I think they're trying to just force us where before they wanted us to choose to be enslaved. They wanted us to just follow that breadcrumb trail and just look around and go, oops, we're in a cage.
It's kind of like a mixture of both, because you have like a lot of people in this country still on planet Earth that actually think that people like Dr. Fauci care about them, that actually think that like
it's the craziest thing.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
right.
They kind of groomed people to just accept the authoritarianism in the name of health, in the name of we care, in the name of saving lives, in the name, you see what I'm saying? So there's still people we need to wake up, but they've done a very good job propagating their authoritarianism in the name of health and we care about you, which my opinion is advanced Satan work, dude. You know what I mean? Like getting people to just receive the tyranny willfully. So it's kind of like both. But there is a pushback as well. That's what INFOWARS represents. That's what we try to represent. And that's what America is supposed to represent. That's how we got here, opposing tyranny, literally opposing it and establishing our own land. I mean, but we've lost that. We're fighting to defend it. Harrison, where can people find your show, support INFOWARS, and continue to share the links and support everything you guys are doing?
INFOWARS.com. Again, we stream live. It's a call-in show, so any listeners want to call in, please do. You are invited. Band.video, INFOWARS.com, streaming every weekday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's the American Journal with Harrison Smith. You can also go to InfoWarsStore.com to support us. Get some Super Male Vitality. Get some Survival Shield X2, X3. It's all on sale. We got whole new lines now.
Boom.
I won't give you my full sales pitch. Just InfoWarsStore.com. It's how you support me, Alex, InfoWars, everything that we do.
Owen Schroyer, the whole
100%.
gang, everyone involved. Listen, we have to support each other. Do not make the same mistake where, Alex Jones is getting banned. Let's not associate with someone getting their free speech censored. Now look what they've done with him. He was the sacrificial lamb. They try and bring Sandy Hook into it to literally suppress the First Amendment again on a lawfare level. That could happen to any one of us. It could happen to Charlie Kirk. It could happen to any one of us. This is why we need to stick together and hold down the American fort. My name is Hernandez. These are the Front Lines. I will see you guys on the next one.